Hello, welcome to an overview of English 101 course policies and expectations. So if you are in Group A, it means that you are watching this video, or at least you should be, and it means that you weren't in attendance on Wednesday, January 13th for the very first week of class, which is what you were supposed to do. You were not supposed to come to class this week. I will meet you in person in our class for the first time on Wednesday, January 2nd. Group A comes every other week. Group Z comes on the opposite weeks. So what I want to do today is introduce you to our course, let you kind of find your way around in here, and also go over some course policies and show you the syllabus and the course schedule. If you're new to BCTC, you might not know exactly where to go to get into Blackboard to access your class. So you can go to Quick Links here and go to Current Students. And then make sure you scroll down all the way till you see My Path. Click on that. And then you'll have a whole lot of options to choose from. My Path sort of covers all kinds of things. You've got email, you have PeopleSoft, you've got Blackboard, you have all kinds of things here. So we're going to get into Blackboard, which is where you will do all of your online work for English 101. And when it opens up, most of you will see this. You can go over here and click on Courses, and it will show you all the courses that you are enrolled in. So I'm going to get into our course here. And then I'm going to go ahead and set this to student preview so that this looks exactly like what you'll see when you get in. So here we go. When you get into the course, this is pretty much what you're going to see. And as you can see, the class is arranged chronologically. It is arranged in modules that are named by each week of the semester. So you know if you've got work that's due the week of 125, you would click on that module, and all the stuff that you're supposed to be doing in the week of 125 will be in there, where you submit assignments, if you have things you need to watch, if you have things you need to read or complete. It's all going to be in that particular week's module in Blackboard. So let's go on up here and just kind of look around in Blackboard for a second. You've got these navigational tools up here on the upper right hand corner of the screen. The messages one has been disabled for students, so if you want to send me a message, the best way to do that is through your campus email. This is the grade book. If you get into that, you will see your grades for all of the assignments that you have submitted. If you get into this, you'll see discussions that have been set up for the class. I won't use that except for a way to allow you to register for a couple of the optional classes that we have, and we'll talk about that later on in the semester when we get to it. This is the course calendar, which be aware, if you click on the little due dates thing, the only things that show up on this calendar are things that you actually get points, like they're assignments like tests and quizzes and submissions. All the rest of the assignments, like the reading assignment or the videos that you have to watch, will not show up on that. So don't use that as your guide for what work you have to do every week. You're going to instead use the actual course schedule that I have prepared for you, which we're going to show you in just a second. So let's go here. This is the main tab to get you into the course content where everything is. So let's go ahead and get into the Start Here module, which is where a bunch of our stuff for this week is. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff in here, and you're supposed to make sure you look at, watch, read, go through all of these things. This is an assignment, for example, that you have due in the first week. It's due by the 17th, 11:59 p.m. Unless otherwise specified, all assignments are due by 11:59 p.m. on the due date. There are a few exceptions to that are specified on the course schedule, but most things are due by 11:59 p.m., 1 minute before midnight on the due date. So if we look at the course schedule, uh, and syllabus, we can find a whole lot of useful information. And we can go down here. Here's the syllabus. Here's the schedule. Keep in mind, the schedule actually also appears at the end of the syllabus document, but I have it here separate as well. So we'd go ahead and we would do like this, say download original file, to actually open up the course syllabus. I actually already have it opened on my computer, so we'll just go to that. So this is the course syllabus for English 101. And as you can see, it meets Wednesdays at 11 o'clock, and in-person attendance is required. But because our class is so big that we have to break it into 2 groups to make sure that we stay within the COVID protocols for campus, we can only have 12 students in the classroom at one time. So you're in 2 different groups, and Group A will come to class on certain weeks, and Group Z will come to class on the opposite weeks. And the course schedule spells out very clearly when your group is supposed to come to class. So let's go on down here. This is all my information, all the instructors' information. I'm Shelly Hancock. I will be your teacher. This is my email. This is what you want to use to send me any messages, questions, that kind of thing. I've also given you a phone number, and please note it is my home phone number, okay? It's not an office number. I don't have an office because I'm an adjunct, which means I'm part-time. So this is a home phone number. It's a landline. Yes, people still have those. And so if you call this number, you know, it's going to ring in my house. If you call it at 2 o'clock in the morning, thinking you're calling an office and you can just leave a voicemail message, au contraire, this will ring right next to my bed, and you do not want to be the student that does that. So just note that it's a home number, and you want to call during normal waking hours, you know, probably between like 7:30 in the morning and 9 o'clock at night, and anything outside of those is probably not a good time to call. If you need to see me, if you need an appointment outside of class to just talk with me about things, you can set that appointment up directly just by calling me, emailing me, or just talking to me before or after class. So let's go on down. This other information here is just, these are my various supervisors that we need to put on here. These are some general BCTC links that can be helpful. And if you need accommodations, here's the information you need. These are the people you need to contact. Let's go on down. So course information. In English 101, we write papers. And the goal here is to focus on scholarly or academic writing, writing sound, well-supported, well-organized, scholarly papers. And the way that I have designed this class, we move from sort of the personal to the more worldly. So with our first paper, we're not using any sources. We don't have to document sources. Everything's coming from our own heads. And you're writing about a more personal topic, just so that we can kind of get our bearings as far as how to do a good thesis statement, how to organize a paper in a strong, well-supported way. We don't want to have to deal with documenting sources or anything yet. I just want you to write a good, solid, well-organized, well-supported paper. So we move from a more personal paper like that, and then gradually with our second paper, we start using sources. We learn how to document. We talk about paraphrasing, summary, quoting, that kind of thing. And then finally, our third paper is the big paper. It's a research argument, 7 to 8 pages long. And you have to use, you know, anywhere from 15 to 20 sources on it. So that's the big thing that we kind of work towards the whole semester to be able to do. And fear not, by the time we get to that point in the semester, if you've been coming to class, if you've been doing your work and paying attention to the feedback that I've given you, you should be in good shape to dive into that. Do not worry about any of the papers we're going to do. You'll always know well ahead of time exactly what I'm looking for, exactly what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to approach it. We work in steps towards the final paper, so you'll never just be thrown to the wolves to write a paper that you don't know how to write. The course competencies and general education competencies, you can read through these yourselves. I'm not going to go over these. When we get into the class materials that are required, there's a lot of technology that is required for this course. It's a hybrid class, so a lot of your instruction is going to be online, as you can expect. And so this work is going to be made available via Blackboard, which is what we got into to find this course syllabus. And this is crucial. It's your responsibility to check Blackboard frequently and be aware of what's going on. Okay. I'm not going to be your babysitter. You all are big, grown up adults. And so you're taking a class that requires you to be a self-starter for a large part of it. And so you want to get used to just getting into Blackboard and checking every week. In fact, checking your course schedule every week, the beginning of every week is crucial so that you'll know exactly what assignments you have to complete during that week. And remember, even the weeks that your group doesn't attend class in person, you will always have online work to do. There's not a single week of the semester where both groups do not have online assignments to complete. So every week, expect to have to do some online work. And remember, failure to complete these assignments in Blackboard is going to mean lost points. You're going to, not get the maximum grade that you can get. So you want to make sure you do these things. It's an essential part of being able to pass the class. Also, you're going to need, obviously, regular and consistent access to a computer, possibly a webcam, although maybe not. Probably not with that. But you need internet. You definitely need internet access on a regular basis. And it's important to note, I always want to tell students who think they can take a whole class like this with just their cell phone and their tablet, that's not going to work. You need access to a PC or a laptop minimum to be able to do all the things that you're going to be required to do. So we do have computer labs, open computer labs on campus, and the public library has access to computers. And, there's internet through both those places as well. But access might be limited. Our computer labs are not open 24/7. So if you're somebody that thinks, you have to do your papers in the middle of the night or something, but you don't have access to a computer or access to the internet at your house, you might have to rethink that and start doing your work for your papers, at a different time when the computer labs are open. Just make sure you plan ahead. Every student on campus has access to Office 365. And if you do control click to follow this link from the syllabus, you can find the instructions to where to go to download Office 365 to your PC or your laptop. So that is a very handy thing. You're going to need Microsoft Office. You're going to need Microsoft Word specifically to do the assignments you're going to have to do in this class. You can also look at these other things. There's policies on our technology use and that kind of thing. You can look at those on your own. There is no textbook to buy for this class. Okay. But I will supply ebooks, handouts, other reading materials as needed via Blackboard throughout the semester. Do know though, note taking is crucial, and you want to get in the habit, just you're in college now, you want to get in the habit of taking notes on all lectures, on other instruction, and even the videos, because, you can watch those videos 50,000 times if you want, but wouldn't it make more sense to just take notes the first time you watch the videos and I give you instructions on this or that? You can take those notes. You're going to learn it better. You're going to remember it better. And you won't have to keep watching the videos over and over again to remind yourselves what's going on. And when you come to class, you want to bring note-taking supplies always. Let's go on down. Attendance and participation. This is a hybrid course. Much of your work is online, but you still do have attendance every other week. And I will take attendance in class every week of class. So when your group A or your group Z is assigned to come to class, you need to come to those classes. You're going to get graded for that. You're going to get participation points for that. And in addition to your every other week in-person class, plan to spend several hours a week completing online course activities. We've spoken about that. And also, this is crucial. Access to many of the online assignments is going to be contingent upon having already completed a previous assignment or attended a previous in-person class. So if you want to ensure that you're able to complete everything by the due date, make sure that you're doing everything you need to do before that. So, you don't want to just wake up one day and say, oh gosh, I see that my outline for essay 1 is due tonight at 11:59 p.m. I'm going to hurry and do that. Well, if you haven't done the steps that lead up to that outline and turned them in correctly, and I've given you credit for them, you might not be able to turn in your outline that day. So, you always want to just, make sure you're not just doing some of the assignments that are assigned in Blackboard, or you're just not coming to just some of the classes that you feel like coming to. Make sure that you're doing all of the things required. And also remember that participation in homework accounts for 20% of your course grade. That may not seem like a lot, but it's definitely enough to really affect your grade in a good way or in a bad way. So you definitely want to make sure you get that 20% get as much as you can for that portion of the grade. Also, every student is